Okay, Pixel Edit is really good at creating seamless patterns, so let's go ahead and do that now. Hit Command G to show the grid if it's not there already. Let's zoom in, and I've already cleared out my color palette here, and let's go ahead and use the eyedropper tool to fill in the color palette just with the colors that we're using right now. Click on plus, and here's our highlight color, and plus, and our shadow color, and we'll add that. Zoom in a little bit more. So here's our yellow, plus, highlight, and shadow. And we'll do the same with this brown, plus, highlight, plus, and shadow. And now in this way we can start creating our custom color palette. So let's create the obligatory rock and grass seamless pattern. So we can start that by, let's take this empty one here, okay? We'll move it over, and I will place that here. And let's turn on our tile indices by pressing Tab. Okay, so we see I've assigned it to this position here, okay? Now the blue number 3 on the right means that that's the number that we have selected in our tiles palette here, and the red number is what's actually assigned to the tile in the canvas. Okay, so let's assign 3 to these 9 spaces here. Okay, and let's get a color that's similar to this brown here, but not exactly the same. That way it'll be more interesting. So let's click our bucket tool. We'll right click on the brown, okay, and let's go into our colors and we'll shift the color just a bit. Let's make it more red. Okay, I think that'll work. And a little bit red, maybe a little bit more saturated here, and click OK, and we'll fill that in. And we can also add this to the color palette. Okay, and now let's start drawing some rocks. And we'll make this a little bit brighter. Let's say like that. Okay. Hit D for our draw tool, and I'll hit the bracket to take that back down to 1 pixel. Zoom in a bit and center, and let's start drawing some rocks. A rock here. Say we have a larger rock here. And as you see, I went over a little bit, and that's fine. As a matter of fact, let's just go over here at the top as well. And maybe another rock here. Okay. Fill that in. Awesome. And let's go ahead and pick a highlight color for this rock. Let's say here, and we'll just try that out. Okay, fill this in here. We'll just quickly put our highlights in. Another one here. And we have one here. Command Z. Okay. And let me right click here and let's pick our shadow color for the rock. How about this here? I'm not really liking that. I want to make that a little bit darker. How about here? Okay. Yeah. I think I like this a little bit better. So we'll fill this in. I'm going to toggle my indices so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Fill this in on the right. Awesome. So it looks like we're all done here. Let me zoom out and I'll turn off my grid as well. See what that looks like. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now here, this looks like this is going a little bit too straight down for me. I could move that rock over a little bit or make it a little bigger. One or the other. Let me go ahead and try that. Right click here and let's draw this rock out a little bit. And see if this helps to make it a little bit more of a seamless pattern. So there's some rocks. If we wanted to add a little bit more detail, we could go ahead and do that. We can take, let's say, the shadow color and start placing some pixels. Okay. Kind of randomly placing pixels. All right. I think that looks pretty good. So let's toggle our indices. Now these are all assigned to the same tile here. So we want to take all of the outside tiles and duplicate those or make them unique. So we'll go to the tile placer tool, hold down Command, and click on each one of these tiles that are on the outside or the edges. And now they're duplicated here. Okay. So then when we manipulate all of these, then they will be different than the center tile. The center tile will not be changed. So let's take our eraser tool, okay, and we'll go up to 8 pixels. 8. Let's zoom in again. And I'm going to turn on my grid again. Hold down Shift, and I'll start erasing here, 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 and here. And I'm going to fill this in with my grass layers. So let's pick a nice green. Actually, let's pick a nice green color. So we'll go in here, and maybe a little bit of a darker shade of green. That's kind of nice. This or this? I don't know. How about that? We'll go with the darker color. Click OK. Now we can go to the Fill tool, and when we click, it'll only fill in each tile. So we'll go around and fill that in. Okay. So let's pick a highlight color. Let's go with, again, I don't want to be too crazy with it. Let's go with this. Okay, we'll pick our draw tool, and I'm just going to quickly draw in a highlight pattern here. Okay, I don't have my tablet, so I'm just drawing this in with the mouse, and I will probably fast forward this video for you so you don't have to watch me doing this. So let me go ahead and fast forward the video, and I'll be back when I'm done with the highlights, and I'll also do the shadows as well. And now I'm going to take my eraser tool, and let's take this down a bit. Let's take it down to 2 pixels. And I'll start erasing the edges a bit as well. I'll go ahead and fast forward again on this part. Okay, I've roughly laid out this grass pattern. Let's zoom out, or we can click here. And I'll turn off the grid so you can see what that's going to look like. Now over here in the tiles area, it is not set up, it's not aligned properly. One thing we can do is add some empty tile sets. So we can add a new tile, okay, and then we can start to arrange these so that they show up properly, and when we export these tiles out to stencil, they'll make a lot more sense. So let's go to about right here, and start moving these tiles where they belong. I know these are going to go down here. And then this is the right tile, this is the left center tile, upper left, upper center, upper right, and this is the center tile.